Foremost, I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Rakadish. Salutation to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike teach 100% true. Shalom, Brakathum to them for their edification and knowledge. And double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike teach 100% true. Shalom, Brakathum to them. And foremost, give all praise to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Rakadish. I'm going to start out with Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by deceit? So using deceit, deception to frame it in form of laws that pretty much in unrighteous decrees that have no value, and most of all that don't benefit certain people, and that relates to the ones in power, because the power is given into the hands of the wicked. They cover the face of the judges. If it's not he, then who is it? Who is it? That's the one who has the power to implement unrighteous decrees, policies, and forms of statutes and decrees and laws. For example, everybody has to wear a face mask everywhere they go. No mask, no service. That's unrighteous decrees. Let's continue on. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. That's what they have. They condemn the righteous, which is the nation of Israel, and innocent, which is the nation of Israel, by doing things that's unspeakable, historically and overall. Now, 22, but the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. So the Lord is going to be ultimately the refuge relating to the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans. He's going to be that stronghold, that strong tower, ultimately. And he shall, in number 23, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. And ye, the Lord our God, shall cut them off. That's a woe and a warning to the wicked, man, what the Lord is going to do. He's going to cut you off as a nation because of your atrocities, your unrighteous atrocities, and the things you have done overall. I'm going to go to 73 of Psalm 73. Number 5. They are not in trouble. They are not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued like other men. They're not plagued like other men because they have everything. The power has been given to the hands of the wicked. That's them. They have the power they means. By the sword, they taken everything, resources, everything. Everything's at their disposal. But not so with the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans, which are contrary to the ones in power. They face adversity on a daily basis. But they did it, a part of that is part of the curses because of their transgressions, iniquities, and sins relating to not following the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So punishment had to come upon them. And part of that was to have these other nations, specifically the ones who's ruling in power, pretty much have dominion and rule over them as a form of punishment. 6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, and violence covereth them as garment. Through violence, their garment have a lot of blood through violence historically for the things they have done, the atrocities they have done. And their pride is exceedingly high. And their mind is guiltless with that pride, which means they see nothing wrong in their actions. They figure they're innocent. They haven't done anything. Number 7, their eyes stand out with fatness, and they have more than their heart could wish. They're greedy. The more they want, the more they want to take. They have an appetite for power. And the more they have, the more they want. They want their stuff, your stuff, and everybody else's stuff. So they never have enough. They are corrupt. They speak wickedly. They're corrupt. And they speak wickedly concerning oppression. That means they speak like they never done anything. Like their hands are clean. When historically speaking, that's contrary or the opposite, pretty much a lie. Their corruption, their deceit, the smooth words is a delusion in their mind to believe that they're innocent, knowing they're guilty for crimes historically. And history speaks for itself. That's why they try to cover it using iconoclasm. Certain things. That's a fancy word of whitewashing. Geographical whitewashing, racial whitewashing, historical whitewashing. To pretty much conceal what they have done. I'll read 8 again. And they are corrupt. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Lawfully, Shemayim in Hebrew. Lawfully, heavenly, high. So they're sarcastic. They condescending. Relating to oppression. If you dare speak relating to other nations about certain things historically, they pretty much try to blow you off by diversion and by different things, like these things never happen. So they very prideful, arrogant about that, and that's their nature. That's that carnal spirit, that pride. I want to go to Micah 2. Micah 2. This is Micah 2. I'm going to read 1 and 2. Woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. That means implementation, exercising. They have counsel about it, then they figure ways to implement and how to do certain things. Then they exercise and practice what their plans, their agenda, their endeavors, their desires. Then they go forth full throttle with it. Number 2. And cover the fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, and even a man in his heritage. A man in his heritage. His identity, his true identity, and where he comes from. That's part of the heritage. It's twofold. It's first because they are people before they are place. So their identity was stolen, and their place of residence, where they come from, was taken. And that relates to the wicked, but it was given to the power. The power has been given to the hands of the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. So when they have the power, they can do what the hell they want. They cover fields. They take it. They using the sword, take stolen resources, lands, claim it for themselves. Psalms 49:11. Relating to they name it after themselves. You know, I mean, that's what they have done. because they don't like their name. Their name they don't like, because their name ultimately, according to Obadiah, relates to something that's going to happen to them. In Obadiah, that relates to pretty much the destruction, the demise of the nation of Edom. You know what I mean? So they don't like their name, so they have to hide behind other names, or was that Fizido, or nicknames, I guess. You know what I mean? By names. Because they know their real name, they're going to have to be held accountable for it. But they can't hide from it, man, because they're being exposed, man, for who they are. And they don't like it too much. So they cover the fields and take them by violence. The sword. That's their modern day sword. Their blessing is that sword, man. And with that sword, they take what they want. Resources, lands. They go to other places and take their resources, lands. Pretty much dictating policy. You could probably call them the international bully, because that's what they are. They're the international bully. Even dictating their policies among other countries to follow in their ways, to follow the ways of the West. Good example of that is relating to the philosophies, ideologies, and customs of the West. These other nations have drunken that wine. That's that wine they drunken. And because they drunken that wine, they're going to receive pretty much the cup of judgment relating to that. I want to go to, let me go to Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of their unrighteous, this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings and injuries riches got by deceit. They got by deceit. Let's break it down. Unrighteous dealings, things that they promised by treaties and word of mouth or by some form of policy, they pretty much reneged and didn't fulfill their obligation, which was ultimately a lie anyway. But injuries and riches got by deceit. A lot of injuries historically, and riches got by deceit, by using that, by deception, by using violence and taking what they want. Good example of that, how they did the Indians, man. All them treaties they made but broke them because they had no intention to keep them. They spoke with smooth words, but in their heart they draw a sword. So their language, the language of their tongue was smooth. And part of their gift relating to who they are, relating to their characteristics, is their smooth talking. And they use that to deceive, to get what they want. But ultimately in their heart, they want to wage war on you. You'll find out in the latter times relating to scriptures what I'm talking about relating to that. Let's read it again. Because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom was translated from one people to another. That's a nice word saying pretty much it was taken by violence, by using all these methods to achieve their purpose. We'll go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such come nay with wild beasts? You play with a serpent, the charmer, using playing with that snake's gonna bite you. You play with the wild beast, they're gonna hurt you. Their instinct, their natural instinct is to do what they do. A snake does what he does. A wild beast do what he do. They're not things to play with, man. And this relates to that snake, and symbolically, and wild beast relates to the wicked, man. Because they are that snake. They deceptive, they deceitful, they methodical, and they are wild beasts. They are ruthless, and they show no pity. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity. For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. He ain't gonna have no pity, you know what I mean? He'll see you at your low estate. They ain't gonna have no pity, like I said. Symbolically, that represents who they are. They really have no pity for you. Let's continue on. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Put that with also Psalms 55 and 21. 20 and 21. I'll see how I get that. Enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagine how to throw thee into the pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, the wicked is an opportunist. All they need is to open and to implement. He will not be satisfied with blood. Number 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. For example, that Beirut so-called bombing relating to, I believe it was the ammonium nitrate relating to the freights. These other nations come to their support, aiding. I'm just hypothetically using this as an example. These nations realistically don't like Lebanon, but they're there to automatically support them. So that's a front, that's a facade. Because realistically, behind the scenes, they are the ones to facilitate and ultimately implement and exercise certain things. Let's read that again. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee. Yeah, because they have intentions in the first place. They have an agenda in heart. Like I said, in Psalms 55 and 21, they speak with their words are smoother than oil, but in their heart they draw a sword. In heart they have intentions, they have agenda and purpose to do, but outwardly they're going to mask it in a certain way to pretend to conceal their true intention. 18. He will shake his head and clap his hands, and whisper much and change his countenance. He will clap his hands. They'll be glad at your demise. They're glad to see you they ultimately are glad to see at a low estate. You know what I mean? And they'll shake his head and clap his hands. So they cheering on your ultimate demise. In the back of their mind and heart. In the heart, they really cheering for your demise. Because, like I said, they have no love for thee. They never did. And this relates to the characteristics relating to the wicked. The real characteristics that he masked behind a false facade. And relating to the wicked, this was just a few verses. Oh yeah. This was just a few verses relating to talking about the wicked, their characteristics, intentions, and I hope it whoever listened, I hope it helped them in some way. I'm going to begin to end this and give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yashah, Bashim Rakadish. Salutation to the elders and apostles, GMS groups and ones alike, teach 100% true. Shalom, Barakathon to them. For their edification and knowledge, give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yashah, Bashim Rakadish. The Water Shalom.